Hey guys, so today I want to compare a little bit here the latest beta on the iPhone 5 and on the iPhone 4. So we have the latest iOS 7 beta 5. You can see this is not the 4S also. If you take a look here, i1332. You can see also it has this little thing up there at the top. So let's compare it a little bit. Of course, some things that you will see that really this new beta can't it can't really change that much. Is of course things like the display, that you can see how much more awesome and vibrant and more colorful the iPhone 5's display is compared to the little boy over here on the iPhone 4. He looks really washed out. Yeah, he's a washed out boy. So if we move on and start to talk a little bit here, so of course, do we get all of the new features in iPhone 4 as we do get in the iPhone 5? Well, that's a very good question. The first thing I can say about the new beta is that it runs definitely a lot smoother on the iPhone 4 than earlier betas. You can see one thing here, it's now as smooth here as like an iPhone 5 inside when you're like changing pages. Of course the iPhone 5 is still a little bit better, but it's really smooth now also on the iPhone 4. So very nice there. You can also see that you get more like blur effects inside of the iPhone 5, of course, because I mean it's a dual core processor instead of only a 1 gigahertz processor. I think it's 100 megahertz single core processor inside of the iPhone 4. So you stay of course on both. The update was actually a little bit different in size. I think it was around 150 megabytes for the iPhone 5, and the update was only around 110 megabytes something for the iPhone 4. So of course that could be because it's a little bit higher resolution. But if you go into the settings area, you can see this on both. You do get this new update here on the sides with the new icons and everything. That's like more colorful. It's pretty awesome. Another thing that you don't get in the iPhone 4 is when you scroll down here in the notification center, you can see here weather and stock information provided by Yahoo. You don't get that in the iPhone 4. And then you also, of course, also in both get this new Twitter icon. So if you tap here on share, you can see here a new Twitter icon. You can see it stand out a little bit better here because they do have a little bit of a different backgrounds on the iPhone 5. So a new Twitter background there. First it was like a blue background I think and like a white bird, but now they did like reverse it or something. Disable control center in apps is also one of my top new features inside the latest beta, that this control center, which you can swipe up like this, you can see here access within apps is the new feature. So before you did have access to this iOS 7 control center inside of apps, but if you didn't want it, there was no way to disable that, as they were setting to disable it to have access to it on lock screen. So they just added that feature, which is pretty nice. If we go into privacy on both these two devices, so it's going to privacy microphone, you should be able to have more access over here to what kind of apps that should be able to have access to your microphone. So you can see here in the iPhone 5, I can disable over here. Applications that request access to microphone will appear here. So you can enable and disable that if they should be able to use your microphone. If you don't want that, then that's of course very good to be able to control that. In general accessibility, and they also have this new feature called on and off labels, which basically means that it could be a little bit easier to see if a switch is on and off, because it's adding a little bit of a rounded little thing there. And then also when you make a switch, you can see that there's a line. So that works on both. And overall, of course, as I said, better performance, and you'll mostly probably see it in iPhone 4 over here, but also when you do things like when you unlock the device, You can see here, I remember first in earlier betas, they kind of lag on the iPhone 4 when I did things like unlock this and see this animation, and now it is perfectly smooth. So very, very impressive stuff over here. This could be still a little bit improved even on the iPhone 5 when you swipe down over like this. Usually it's a problem in many iPhones that, like, when you fire up the spotlight, it starts to lag a little bit. I'm not really sure if Apple would be able to fix that, but yeah. New slide to power off, of course. Should be looking the same here on both. A little bit slow to react though, that I'm trying to activate it. You can see here, change on the button down here looks a little bit better here on the iPhone. Here it just looks like super white. And you can see here the kind of like the effect. And then of course, just because I have to hold the iPhone here, the iPhone 4 with two hands because it has a glass back, full glass back, which is a little bit annoying. You can see the iPhone 5 still has glass down here and up here, but not the full back side, so that is good. That it doesn't move around as much as the iPhone 4. And some other small features we have, of course, is new icons. When you are inside of a call, you have now circles around the icons, and they could also be a little bit bigger. Also, when you get like small notifications up there at the top, you'll be able to easily pull it down and open up the full notification center to see every information about that. So it looks pretty awesome when you get that stuff. And another little thing is also when you have the white iPhone 5 and you download you download the latest iOS 7, and when you boot the device up, you have a white background and a black Apple logo instead of the other way around. So and then also when you are inside of Messages, that app, before they show you the first name and the initials of your last name, but now they only show you the first name again. So just to end this little video, I'm just going to show you here the new look it could look like when you boot the device up on the iPhone 5. And this seems to only be working on the iPhone 5 at the moment, not on the iPhone 4 or 4S if you have the white edition of that one, or the iPhone 4. I think the first iPhone also had, was there an original iPhone 4 with the white color? I'm not really sure, maybe. So you can see here when I'm booting up, that looks a little bit different. Yay! It looks white. It looks white. Yeah, you like that, don't you? I know you like that. I know you like that. You like it every single day. Every single day. Black versus white. Black versus white. Black versus white. So guys, are you ready for this new iPhone? I mean, the rumors are saying that we're gonna see the new iPhones coming next month, September. Maybe two iPhones, maybe an iPhone 5S or an iPhone 6, and then a cheap mid-range like iPhone 5C. C can stand for cheap, but it probably stands for like colors, and it's gonna be pretty awesome. And I know this is weird. It's weird with an iPhone 4 to boot up quicker than an iPhone 5, but who knows? It's a good purchase. I mean, you should definitely pick up the Galaxy or the iPhone 4 if you can.